All right, folks. So we had last Friday we had a low range Friday, right? So pretty much just chopping around, right? And then after this chop, we broke this low, right? And we rejected this high. So that tells me there's bearish intentions, right? Breaking highs, rejecting lows, or rejecting highs and breaking lows. So price was in a range, in a clear defined range, right here. Quick stop hunt to the range low. Right, so we went and we took out the range low, right? However, we did leave behind this rejection block, and rejection blocks are liquidity pools. You can use them to enter from as turtle soup, or a failure swing, that'll be, or you can use them to target, which is what I did in this case, right? So range, clear defined range, right? And if you've been following along for a while, you'll have known by now that one of my favorite types of turtle soup is this double top and then a purge of the equal highs, which are also previous week's high, right? So I'm not taking these equal highs for the sake of being equal highs. I'm taking them because they are also previous week's highs. Because if you go around taking every single equal high or equal low for the sake of being equal highs and equal lows, then you're pretty much a pattern trader, and that does not work. Every move has to have a logic behind it. It has to have an explanation, right? So range low, of course, if any of you have been paying attention, again, this pattern will be familiar to you, right? So we purge the previous week's high into a higher time frame PD array. Right? 15, so midnight open. We had accumulation over here, generating interest on both sides of the range. Accumulation, quick stop hunt. So we didn't purge these lows, right? We left behind this liquidity pool right here. And notice how the consequent encroachment, or the 50% of the gap, of the wick rather, is also a lower time frame liquidity pool, right? The same way, lower time frame rejection block is a higher time frame rejection block is a lower time frame order block, right? So everything is fractal and connected. A higher time frame breaker can be seen as a lower time frame turtle soup, and so on. So that was the idea. The idea was this pending this liquidity pool had not been traded to yet, left behind, right? That was where I had my eye on, especially that we are in a bearish profile, which means we're breaking lows right here and we're rejecting highs, which means any pop above a high is to be smacked down, right? Now add to that the way it climbed up, right? The shape, so opening price, opening time, stop hunt, accumulation over here, manipulation, accumulation over here, manipulation, distribution. That was a cycle within a cycle, so accumulation, manipulation, distribution, right? But within the daily cycle, meaning candle, of course, nothing too fancy. So within the first 4 hour candle, right, which is one to 5, right? You have the manipulation over here and the distribution. So we had a classic sell candle on the 4-hour profile. Now, I didn't want to go into this, but now that I had that slip, I must explain. 1 hour, open, right? So this is profiling 4-hour candles. 1 hour open, drop below the open into a previous liquidity pool, right? So a turtle soup, you see? And there's also a gap over here, a fair value gap, which is also a liquidity pool, because fair value gaps are liquidity pools. They're highs and lows, right? Especially the upper part of a bullish fair value gap and the lower part of a bearish fair value gap. So opening time and price of the 4-hour candle, right? And the closing time and price of the 4-hour candle. One, two, five. So we had a classic sell candle on the 4-hour, which could have been traded in and of itself, right? So that was what I meant by the first manipulation. So, but on the daily candle, we had a accumulation down here. Accumulation. Three-minute, more clear. Accumulation down here, right? Leaving behind this liquidity pool down here, right? So the original consolidation of a market maker sell model, of a reaccumulation, and then smart money reversal at a higher time frame PD array. I don't use these market maker models for the sake of because they look like one. No, it has to be in the correct context. All right. So smart money reversal, and then SMT. And when I saw this SMT, that's when I said, you know what, this 30-minute order block can be used. The high as a stop loss. Why? Because it's a high that took out liquidity, right? The highs that take out liquidity can be considered a safe stop loss, because if you're right, then the turtle soup top has a lot of liquidity trapped above it. So it's not supposed to go back up there, right? If it goes back up there, you're wrong. But if you're right and you review the trades you took and the journal, if you journal, because you should, that if you review what happened, you'll notice that the highs and lows, the turtle soup tops and bottoms, they're usually never retraded to until a liquidity pool is taken out or a balance is rebalanced, which is also a liquidity pool. I just said balance and I meant imbalance, but that's fine. So we can just act like nothing happened. So the stop loss is going to be above this order block's high. All right. And when I saw this SMT rallying after the midnight open, accumulation, manipulation into a higher time frame PD array at the end of London, which is 3 to 5, the good old 3 to 5 time window, right? So opening price, opening time right here. We open. And I want to make this as simple as possible, right? Because that's how it should be. So remove this, remove all this. In summary, and I have spoken about a lot more than I intended to, right? Which is why it's probably a bit longer than normal. So that's okay. So in summary, in summary, with an S, opening price, opening time, accumulation, manipulation, distribution. Accumulation, climbing in the shape of a market maker model stopping at a higher time frame PD array with an SMT, and that birthed the trade idea, which was over there today. All right, stop loss was, it looks cool, of course, the way I put it, but the way I design it, the way I want it to look, but it's simply an OB, simply the high of an order block, which also took out liquidity. So a turtle soup top. And yeah, that was it, nothing too fancy. Just a good old accumulation, manipulation, and distribution, and good luck, and happy gambling.